Men know what they want. You know what you want. So what makes you think he doesn't know what he wants? Why? Hey you, welcome to another episode of Real Talk. If this is your first time here, hi, nice to meet you. My name is CJ, and if you're a returning subscriber, it's good to have you back. So if you don't know what Real Talk is a series where we basically discuss everything regarding life, from finances to career paths to love and relationships, which is basically what we've been covering for the last 2 episodes. So if you've not seen it, check the link on the screen. But basically everything regarding self-improvement and self-growth. And today's episode is like a story time chit chat type of video. You know love is blind, and love can actually stop you from seeing or noticing red flags that you should have noticed before and after you enter the relationship. And this was actually my story once upon a time. I was in a very toxic relationship. Today we're going to be using my experience to talk about some red flags that you might actually be overlooking before and after you've entered the relationship, maybe because of love. I am a momo. Play the song. But if this is something you're interested in seeing, please keep on watching. So once upon a time, I wanted to be in a relationship. When I was in school, I wanted to be in a relationship so very badly. I would say peer pressure. Peer pressure was one of the reasons, because most of my friends were entering into committed relationships. And I think we were in year 1, 2. I did diploma, so please, I was in year 1 or 2. And I told my friend, actually, I had seen this guy. He came to my lodge. And he was cute, beard gang and shit. I saw him and he happened to be a friend of a friend. We shared a mutual friend. So I asked her if he was single, and she said he was single. So yay, good for me, right? We exchanged contact. Yes, he was also interested in me, which is weird now that I think about it, because how did he know who I was? Maybe he saw pictures, I don't know. But I saw him in real time, so I knew what I was getting myself into. Like I knew who he was, like physically. But we exchanged contacts. I think it was BBM pin, no WhatsApp, BBM pin, and we started chatting on BBM. I had it at the back of my mind that this was leading to a relationship. So the talking stage for me was like a process to the final destination, which is the relationship, which for me is the first problem. I don't think there's anything wrong with being intentional with what you want, but I do think it can bring you to deceitful people, number one. And it can actually blind you from noticing things that you should actually be noticing and making excuses where you shouldn't be making excuses. In my case, he could tell I wanted a relationship. Number one, I spoke to my friend about him, right? And he, started talking to me, so he could tell what I wanted. So he was basically selling my dreams back to me. Do you understand? He was basically telling me everything I wanted. My friend will always say, don't listen to what they say, listen to what they do not say. That is where the real tea is at, okay? It's good to be intentional. It's good to know what you want. It's good to put it out there that, hey, I'm not here to play games. But if you meet someone that is deceitful and wants to use you for whatever reason there is, they are basically going to sell your dreams back to you. They're going to tell you the things they know you want, not the things they actually want. Get me? And unfortunately, this was my own story. He basically sold everything he knew I wanted back to me, and of course I fell for it. Which is why I am still making emphasis on that. Please, ladies, please make sure you are careful not to fall for guys that are telling you everything that actually crosses your list. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying that you have to be careful. Be sure they're not just telling you the things they know you want to hear. Does he really want a relationship, or there's another reason? Find out. Okay, so the talking stage continues and it progresses really fast. We start dating unofficially, which actually brings me to my next point. Please, 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 and please, if he doesn't define your relationship, he is not serious. Call me old school, call me traditional, I don't know, I don't care. If he doesn't ask you out officially, doesn't define what the relationship is from the start, he is not serious. Or do not serious, use the door, okay? If you even have to ask, if you have to ask him to define the relationship, that is a big red flag. Take it or leave it. And You guessed right. This was my situation. This boy did not actually ask me out though. He actually did not ask me out. When I think about it, he did not ask me out. We were just dating. You know this kind of relationship, people are already babying, I love you, blah, 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 blah. You know, boyfriend, girlfriend, without actually officially tagging it. So it took me actually asking. I remember I actually had to ask before he talk left, talk right, talk left, talk right. My God. See, if you're asking a guy to define your relationship, please, that is a red flag. Don't omit it. Don't think it's normal. I don't know who is saying it's normal. It's not normal. Men know what they want. You know what you want. So what makes you think he doesn't know what he wants? Why? Like, why? He knows what he wants. And if he's not defining your relationship, that's not what he wants, okay? Yeah. So in this case, he never asked me out. So apparently, he did not actually want a relationship. I bent his knee by asking. When I asked, he knew that, okay, if I want to continue, you know, babying with this girl, I have to actually probably define the relationship. So I bent his knee, which is a red flag that I omitted. After talking with him several times, he actually now said, yes, I want you to be my girlfriend. I want us to be in a committed relationship, blah, 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 blah. We continue dating, and funny things start to happen in that relationship, you know? He had a lot of friends. I'm coming to that. I never really knew all his friends, like in person, or even just knowing them. I actually never knew all his friends. He had a lot of friends. He had several friend groups. They were work friends, school friends, church friends, childhood friends, so many friend groups. And I don't feel like actually I was introduced to a particular friend group. I don't want to start bringing up the other girls because of course there were other girls. I'm getting to that. But if you don't know all his friends, please, that is a red flag. I'm sorry. On their birthdays, he will post, you know, epistles on his status, and I'll ask, oh, who is this person? Is this person? Who is like at least 4 to 5 times a month? They were different people that I have never seen, heard of in my life, and they were his close friends from the epistles he writes. And you have a serious girlfriend? Please. So I came to actually realize that he introduced his girlfriends, because he had several girlfriends, to several friend groups. I was introduced to a particular friend group, and those were the ones I knew. And the other ladies in his life, you might ask, CJ, how did you come to know that there were other ladies? Because he also posted them. They were also part of the friend groups. Them too, they were his friends. So let me tell you how I actually found out, okay? So that I will not be mysterious. He used to post, he posted one person, and I remember asking him, who is this person? He said, oh, this person is my cousin. And I'm like, okay, your cousin? He said yes. And then they go out one time and they post, like, I think they went to a restaurant or something, and he posted a video of them. And I was like, oh, you guys went out? He said yes. And I'm like, how do you have a cousin that, you know, that I don't know of, and I've never heard you talk about this particular cousin, and you guys are even going to a restaurant together and whatnot? So of course, if you're dating somebody, you want to be close friends with their family members and their friends, because of course you like this person. So I go ahead to investigate. Yes, I am an FBI, take it or leave it. I used to be really deep into my FBI life, you know. If anybody needed something, information about somebody, call me, like give me a call, I'll sort it out. I'm no longer like that, right? But yeah, I actually started investigating about this girl. I found her Instagram handle through his page, and then when I went to her Instagram, nothing was really happening. I started looking for a Snapchat handle, yeah. And then I followed her on Snapchat, and it was on Snapchat that I actually got to know. I got to find out that no, my darling, this is not his cousin, this is actually one of his girlfriends. And you might ask again, CJ, how did you know he had other girlfriends? Because the same thing that happened with her happened with other girls. So if he went out with other girls, I would ask, there will be one story, work colleague, blah blah blah. But if I follow them on Instagram or, you know, add them on Snapchat, the story is different. You might say, oh, this girl is crazy, like how do you do all these things? I'm sorry, but I was crazy in love. Thank you. Before I digress too much, please, if you don't know his friend groups, like if you don't know all his friends, by heart. You don't have to be friends with them, or you don't have to actually be talking to them. You don't actually have to follow them on any social media platform. It's not that deep. But if you don't know all his close friends, like he comes and start posting random people and writing a whole ass epistle and talking about, you know, the things they've done for him, did whatever, and you don't know these people, my sister, my dear sister, that is a red flag. Just know that this person is up to something. There's a skeleton in his cupboard. Skeleton, cockroach, cat, everything is in this guy's cupboard. Okay? Thank you. While I started finding out about these girls, I would approach him and talk to him about them, and he would just say I'm paranoid, you know? He always made me feel like I'm crazy, like, yo, you're making shit up. You're just talking in the nonsense. And that is my next red flag. If you bring up a serious issue to him and he doesn't try to address it like a normal human being and tells you you are paranoid, that, my darling, is a red flag. Like, even with my friends, if they have a problem or something and they walk up to me and tell me, hey, I don't like this and this, and I'm not just going to tell them they're paranoid, even if maybe there's actually nothing to it, like to what they are saying or something. I'm not going to just disregard and discard your own feelings and opinion and make you feel like you're crazy, like you're just making things up out of the blue without actually trying to understand where they're coming from and maybe trying to explain that, hey, it's not like that. So if he's not trying to address the problem in your house, he's not trying to address the problems in your relationship, he's just making you feel like you're batshit crazy, it is time to pick your bags and run. Run, don't walk, okay? At this point, I was already tired in the relationship. Like, I was stressed. Like, I knew what I was saying. I knew what I was saying. Like, you cannot just be telling me all these people are just your friends, okay? These people are not just your friends. Like, I keep seeing you people going out, you know, they call you baby, and you can't, the signs are there. It's really glaring. I can't ignore the obvious. But for some reason, he made me always feel like I was just talking nonsense, and a part of me actually believed it. A part of me actually believed that I was making things up. And you know, when you love somebody, you want to actually believe, you actually crave for excuses. You actually crave those excuses. You actually don't want those things you are saying to be true. I think that is where I was, and it's very important that no matter how in love you are, you don't ignore, you try, like, let your sense still be there. Do you understand? Like, you see this I Am a Mumu song, it's good to be a Mumu. Mumu is sweet. It's like, mumuing in love is actually really nice, but it's nice when both of you are mumuing together. When one person is manipulative and the other person is just in love and just oh my god, it's terrible. And yeah, that was where I was. So I think I did not want it to be true, and when he always told me I was paranoid, I gladly accepted. So please don't accept. Please, your feelings are valid. You have a right to feel the way you feel, and you deserve to actually have those feelings addressed. Okay? So yeah, the relationship continued. I did not actually leave the relationship at this point. Yeah. I think what broke the camel's back is my next point. In this relationship, I spent a lot of money. It's crazy now that I talk about it. Whenever I reflect on it, it makes me laugh. It's quite funny. I spent a whole lot, like, you know, I think in my last video I said, like, if I spend like 500k, I'm just calling figures again. This person never spent up to 50,000. I'm even exaggerating. I don't even think he spent up to 20. Like, for some reason, he always found a way to convince me to spend, and he will give me back later. I can't remember how this worked. Even on dates, I spent on dates. Like, I would book restaurants, hotels. Like, I was a student though, which is crazy because my family people will say this guy is not serious. Any little money, because I love, personally, okay, let me just put it out there. Personally, I love gifting people, not just relationships, my friends. I love gifting people. I love expressing myself through gifts and taking care of people. I love making sure people feel loved. I like to show that. And for me, it was okay. Even now that I think about it, if I go back in time, I probably would still do the same thing. I beg, nobody should slap me, but I just love expressing myself with gifts. He always claimed he wasn't financially buoyant at the time. He was hustling and whatever, which was fine. I wanted to always supplement for us, you know. I was willing to make sacrifices, and I kept making sacrifices, monetary sacrifices, like financial sacrifices. I spent a lot of money again, and he never never made those sacrifices for me financially. And the thing that broke the camel's back was when he spent money that he wasn't supposed to spend. I wouldn't go into details, but it was like really deep for me, because that money was something that I was supposed to use for something very important in school, and he spent it. How like the money entered his account is another story entirely, but he spent the money and I was stranded. And to me that was like the most wicked thing you could do to me, because I now had to start begging and calling, you know, family members, cousins to help me and support me, and this guy was nowhere to be found. Like, he just took my money and ran, and we are supposed to be in a relationship. Even as much as saying I'm sorry, he just did not do that. Yeah, that brings me to my point. Please, if you are spending more than a guy is spending in a relationship, my sister, it is time to run. I don't care what anybody wants to say. If a man is not spending as much as you, like you are actually the breadwinner in your relationship, please, oh please. I know there are exceptions to these cases, I know, but you have to be very sure that you're not being used. Be very sure you are with someone who constantly asks you for money. Like, he keeps asking you for money. Spend on this, do this, do that, send to my sister, send here and there, and he never helps in any little way he can. That's a red flag. Please leave. And I think that was what actually broke the camel's back for me. At this point, I knew that it was time to actually say goodbye. No matter how painful it felt to me, I had to say goodbye to this relationship for good. And I want to add a bonus tip, right? If you meet manipulative people, you will know, right? Let me tell you how to know some manipulative people. He knew there were times I would complain about certain things and he wouldn't do it. Like, he just doesn't do it. I don't know why. But the moment I actually break up and want to leave the relationship, he will start to do those things that I wanted him to do when we were in the relationship. Please, that is a very manipulative person. And case in point, whenever like I break up or we split and separate, whatever English we're going to use now, he will come back and start telling me some stories. He'll start using Anindibia and Two-Face as a reference to our love story. How, and it's funny that he always uses Anindibia and Two-Face, because if you know their story, you know that theirs is not an easy one. It was actually a very difficult relationship, and Two-Face was promiscuous. He was not faithful in the relationship, but Anindibia stuck with him through the years. So he always tried to use that as a case in point to our own relationship. Whenever we break up, he will bring up their love story and try to use it to like talk to me about loving through hard times and loving through the terrible times. Now that I'm talking about it, actually sounds more stupid. Really, be careful of manipulative people. Like I said, if he doesn't do the things you want him to do in the relationship, but the moment you break up or want to leave him, you start to do it. That's a manipulative person right there, okay? Oh my god, that actually brings me to the end of this story. A lot of things happened, but like I said, if I start to talk about them, we'll do part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, maybe as a bonus part. But these are the points that I feel like, these are some red flags I feel like you should not omit. No matter how much you love somebody, it's very important that you are extra careful, because love is a beautiful thing and I hope everyone experiences that, but people can use it to use you. I hope I said it well. People can use it to actually use you. Love is very, makes us very vulnerable. Loving someone, you actually have to be vulnerable, but make sure you don't, at least now that you know these red flags that I'm telling you, try to make sure they're not in your relationship before and after you enter the relationship. Get what I'm saying? Thank you. And with that, we have come to the end of this video. If you stuck with me till this point, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was a little bit here and there, but I hope you enjoyed it and it was helpful to you. So if you did enjoy it, please like this video, please share this video with your friends, leave me a comment in the comment section. It actually helps. Like and share this video, okay? If you are not subscribed, wait, am I even missing that? If you're not subscribed to this channel, why haven't you stuck with me to this point? Why haven't you? I'm just kidding, but you're going to enjoy my videos. I mean, I have a whole playlist. Check them out. After you see this one, please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell another friend to subscribe. Tell people to keep subscribing. Until I see you in my next video, okay? Bye.